Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to find the equation of a line passing through a point and perpendicular to another line, okay? And after that we're going to write the answer in slope-intercept form, okay? Write the answer in slope-intercept form, all right? So, okay, one thing to know again, to solve a problem like this, anytime you need to get the equation of a line, let's start with the point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. Okay, now obviously you have x1, you have y1, but you don't see the slope. Well, what they're saying is that the line you need is perpendicular to this line. It turns out that when two lines are perpendicular, for perpendicular lines, okay, the slope, if m1, if the slope of the first one is equal to, for example, a over b, then the slope of the other one must be equal to negative b over a. Okay, so negative reciprocal of what you had. Okay, so negative b over a. You see, I flip it, so it's a over b here, b over a, and I changed the sign. This was positive, this is negative. So it's a negative reciprocal. Okay, so remember this. When two lines are perpendicular, their slope can be related like this. The slope of one is the slope of the other flipped and opposite. So you change the sign of it, okay? So remember that. Now, since I know this about perpendicular lines, what I can do, I can actually get the slope of this line that was given to us, right? So remember, this was given to us as x, plus 2y equals to 8. So if I can write this in slope-intercept form, I can use that slope to get the next slope I need, right? So solving for y here, I'll subtract x from both sides. So I'll have 2y equals to negative x plus 8. Then I'll have to divide both sides, everything by 2, I'm saying. So I'll have y equals to negative 1 over 2x plus 8 divided by 2 is 4. So what's the slope in this case? Well, the slope here, m1, or anyhow you want to call it. So if I say, let me put this right here so I can separate. So I could say m, therefore m is equal to negative 1 over 2. Now this is the slope of this line, right? So if I need the slope of the line I need here, this line, if I need this slope, I could say, okay, the line I need, its slope would be, and let me put this here, just to differentiate, I'm gonna put m right here, and I'll put a little arrow right here, okay? So m, for the one I need here, let me call this m1, by the way. Let me call this m2 and m2. By the way, it's the same thing. As long as I just put it here to differentiate so you can see, so it could make sense to you. So m2 in this case would be this flipped, so now it's 2 over 1. Then I changed the sign. It was negative, now it becomes positive, okay? So I flip it, I change the sign. Therefore, this is just 2. So m here, the slope is 2 because they're perpendicular. So I'll go back here, and that's what I'm going to use. So I have then y minus y1, which is negative 6, equals to m2, which is 2, times x minus x1, which is 1. Okay? And I just solve. So y plus 6 equals, I distribute here 2x minus 2. Okay, 2x minus 2. Then I subtract 6 from both sides. I'll have y equals to 2x minus 8. Okay, so y equals 2x minus 8. This right here is your answer. Okay, y equals 2x minus 8. Now, do I have it in slope-intercept form? Yes, it's already in slope-intercept form because it's like y equals mx plus b. That's what I have here, so it makes sense. Then you're done here. So key things to remember here. Well, anytime you need to find the equation of a line passing through a point and perpendicular to another point, you got to remember that perpendicular lines have, their slope would have, some relationship. So the first slope, the slope of the first line would be equal to the slope of the other one, flipped and opposite. So it's the negative reciprocal of the slope of the first line. The slope of the second line is the negative reciprocal of the slope of the first line. Same thing, vice versa. Okay, so as long as you have one slope, you can just flip it, change its sign, and it will give you the slope of the other line if the two lines are parallel, are perpendicular in this case. Okay, and from last example, when the lines are parallel, then they have the same slope. This example is different. They're perpendicular. So that's why the slope of this one here, M1, is the same as M2, but you have to flip M2 and change its sign. So M1 is the negative reciprocal of M2. Okay? As long as you know M1, you can get M2, but you got to flip M1 and change its sign. All right? Very easy. This is how you find the equation of a line passing through a point and also perpendicular to the line, to another line. All right? Thank you.